Hello, guys. We are here for another edition. But before we start, I want to ask a question. Does Africa stand a chance to lift this World Cup trophy? I think we can. We can definitely. From the look of things, I think we can. Okay? But wait, let me tell you something. In this particular World Cup edition, the number of African countries that went to this particular World Cup, we are 10 countries for the first time since the history of World Cup. You know why? Because we know that the World Cup, the number of participants in the World Cup was being expanded to 48 teams. So the 48 teams are in this particular World Cup. So which gives African the opportunities to compete. Okay, so the number of African teams that went to this particular World Cup are just 10 countries. And we all know the 10 countries. I'm going to list them for you. Morocco, Senegal, Egypt, Ghana, Algeria, Tunisia, South Africa, Cote d'Ivoire, DR Congo, Cape Verde. And out of these 10 countries that went to this World Cup, guess what? After the group stages, we all know that the group stages matches ended yesterday. And starting from today, we are going to be seeing matches on round of 32. That's in, if you qualify to round of 32, their matches are going to start today. Okay, starting from South Africa versus Canada, the hosted nation. But I want to talk about Africa basically. See, out of the 10 countries that went to this World Cup, African country sent 10 countries to go and represent Africa. And remember the topic, does an African or does Africans stand a chance to lift this World Cup? For the first time since the history of the World Cup, an African nation has never won this trophy. Do you think that, okay, fine. That's by the way, let me go back to the main topic. Out of the 10 countries that we sent, only 9 countries qualified to the round of 32. That is a wonderful news. Anywhere you are in Africa, you should be happy because the countries that we sent to represent us are doing wonderfully. They are doing well, except one country. Do you know the country? Tunisia. I'm not really happy with Tunisia. Seriously. We sent Tunisia. Guess what? Tunisia, during the World Cup qualification matches, Tunisia won all their group matches. They won them. And they qualified to the World Cup. Guess what? They went to the World Cup. They lost all their matches. They went there with 2 coaches. They sacked the first one after the first matches. The second one came in, lost, and they also lost against Netherlands. They lost all their matches. Shame on Tunisia. Then going forward, because I don't like talking about failure, we should be talking about success. Okay? Thank you so much. Let's go over to the next topic or next talk. And I want to tell you that these African countries, their next fixtures in this particular round of 32. Morocco versus Netherlands. South Africa versus Canada. Cote d'Ivoire versus Norway. Egypt versus Australia. Egypt versus Australia. Ghana versus Colombia. Cape Verde versus Argentina. Wow. This will be a very good match against Lionel Messi. Senegal versus Belgium. Algeria versus Switzerland. And the last but not the least, DR Congo versus England. So these are the matches that African countries have in the round of 32 in this particular World Cup. But the next question comes, which of these out of these 9 countries, which of them will go to the round of 16? Do we still have a chance? I think yes, they do have a chance. And let's not forget that the farthest or the furthest an African nation or an African team has been in this World Cup or in the World Cup since he's in the history of the World Cup is semi-final. And the country that went to that semi-final is Morocco. Morocco, we know Morocco now. Last World Cup edition in Qatar 2022. They went to the semi-final. They defeated, on their way to the semi-final, they defeated Spain, they defeated Portugal before they were crushed by France. And we were excited. We were excited because they went far. Because after Morocco, I think the best run for Africa before Morocco should be, I think it should be quarterfinal. And the teams that represented us to reach that level were Cameroon, Senegal, and Ghana. So therefore, coming to this World Cup, do we still stand a chance to lift this World Cup trophy. Thank you so much. And please remember, subscribe to the channel or you can follow the page. Thank you all. Bye.